Murree, Principal Fatima, Cadet College, Brigade Wakar, Chairman of this elite organization, फातिमा जी, बहुत सारे मेरे अजीज दोस्त जो यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, and I must say the brilliant shining stars of Pakistan. Assalamu alaikum. It's indeed a great honor for me that today I am talking to you on a very important subject, and the topic selected needs without any doubt focus and our due share in contribution. We normally talk about, and before me there are speakers who had mentioned, and they have given their views and given you a number of good advices. We talk about nation. So what is nation? As Brigadier Wakar mentioned you three things in his talk. I compose all those three things in adding another two. This is a nation as it is shown on the screen in front of you. We need to have a territory and then people. I have kept this people word in dark blue intentionally because this is the most important thing to create a nation. If the people is not there, there is no nation. Today my talk will be focusing and correlating the subject of nation building with character building. I have analyzed, when the topic given to me, I was thinking that there are so many factors which are involved in nation building, but to me and to my understanding, when I visualized and analyzed all the factors, I found that the character building is the most important thing which can avoid failure to a nation, because the most important element and the factor and the pillar of a nation is the people of that very nation, of that very country, or the very state, who are contributing in all spheres of life. If that is not made, that is not built properly, forget about any nation building effort, forget about any success in your life. So we have to focus on these areas. It requires centuries to build a strong nation, and every member of the society has to participate. Why to participate? To bring its nation upward so that it is getting a distinction globally among other nations. This is what we are striving for. This is what we talk about. And normally as a joke and as a fun, we talk about Pakistan normally, that are we a nation or are we a crowd? So we are not a crowd, we are a nation, and we have to prove it that we are a nation. And for that I will give you certain guidelines, certain points from my side, correlating, and then subsequently we'll move on that what is the role of those areas which I will highlight. They will contribute in nation building. In this present century, as earlier mentioned as well, youth is the most vital factor and the most important thing because of its percentage. It's around 60+% strength of Pakistan is less than 30. And it can have an immense potential for the driving change, and it's considered a serious threat by our rivals. This is the most important factor which I wanted to highlight. And I have given this point and this talk a number of forums elsewhere as well, where I have highlighted that the Pakistan is a nuclear state, no doubt. But I tell you, the nuclear bomb is sitting in front of me, which is taken as a deterrence by all over the world. And the present environment which we are passing through, and the despondency, and all the odds we are facing, and all the, you can say that the destabilization, our enemy, all those entire Pakistan forces, they are putting all their efforts in to create a situation where we can undermine our youth, where we can undermine them and create a sense of lack of confidence, lack of trust in our system, in our strength. And this is what they are doing. And we have to beat it. And I'm sure that our youth has that potential. It is a blessing of Allah to us. And they can beat back the enemy and they can have the resolve and the potential to rise with honor and glory. The character building is the most important thing as per our religion as well, and as per the teachings of our Holy Prophet, peace be upon him. And we have to understand it. And it's very clearly understandable from this red highlighted hadith. That the best among you are those who have the best manners and character. Say Bukhari. This is what we have been taught 1400 years ago. And I tell you, there are nations who have failed despite they had all the resources, they had all the money, wealth, everything, but they could not survive for long, and they met their failure because they were lacking something, and that was this very thing. They didn't have the strong character. And there were nations, we survived because of the strength of the character. It's the unified strength, it's the combined strength of a nation which can survive any odd, any difficulty, anything coming across, but they remain steadfast and they can face the challenges. It is only can be possible if you have a strong character which needs to be built upon. The weak character person is a shallow from within, and it cannot contribute. Anybody who is highly learned, who has long list of degrees with him, I tell you, if he is having a shallow character, a weak character, he is just useless for the society. So you have to focus on this, and you have to take care of this very aspect. Now I'll just highlight certain guideline principles for building your character, because it is our responsibility being elders that we should advise you. It is our responsibility being parents that we should advise our siblings, and we as a collectively all elders sitting here, and your mentors and your teachers and your relatives elder to you, it is all their responsibility to give you and highlight you those areas. The foremost is strengthening Iman and Taqwa. These are the two things we should be focusing upon. And Holy Quran very clearly says, verily the most honored of you in the right of Allah is the most righteous of you. We have a firm faith that whatsoever is told to us by Quran and by our Holy Prophet, peace be upon him, that is truth and nothing other than truth. So we should not have any second thought about it. This is a materialistic world. There are so many distractions in your life which you will be looking at and will be attracting you towards them. But remember, the only thing which can take you onto the right path is this, the point and the highlighted right in front of you. Then is pursuing knowledge and wisdom. As mentioned earlier by the speakers, acquire knowledge. And that knowledge is the foremost thing, and it is being instructed to us by our Prophet, peace be upon him, as well. And Quran also mentions that thing, and it is, I've shown you on the screen, that the Quran says, those who spend in charity, as the Holy Prophet has said, that seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim. So it's an obligation for us. We have to follow it. Then is the compassion and generosity. There's another principle which builds your character. You have to look for it. Building strong inter- relationship. Interpersonal relationship is the foremost thing, which is, as mentioned, it is there in your family, it is in your inner circle and outer circle of friends and people you know and meet daily in routine life. So be helpful to them, establish a good relation with them, and be very selective in making relationships among your friends. That is also most important and the foremost thing. Islam promotes companionship with those who have positive influences. And the Prophet, peace be upon him, advised choosing friends wisely. This is most important because you are in a hostel life. Here you will come across your colleagues who have come from different areas. So if you are making friends, be very intelligent and wise in making a friend. But at the same time, it doesn't mean that don't be a friend to others. With your good deeds, you can make anybody whom you consider that has certain gray areas, he will come out of it and she will be your, are like you, a good friend again. सेल्फ अकाउंटेबिलिटी, मुहासबा, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. वो आपने आपके पेरेंट्स ने भी बताया होगा, हदीस भी है कि बिफोर यू गो टू बेड जस्ट रिकॉल व्हाट ऑल यू हैव डन इन द डे and then correlate it with the teachings and with the instructions of your religion as well as your mentors, that did you follow those or it was astray. If it is, that is muhasba. The next morning you should not. I will just quickly go through certain points because of the shortage of time. You can just have a look over it. These are those effects which can be there on your, if you have a good character, what effects it will have on you. The first is the enhanced self-esteem, better decision making, and resilience. Improved relationship, emotional well-being, and personal growth. If you have a strong character, these areas will automatically develop in you. And because of these, you will add on into the society as well. Because you are part of the society. And all these areas constitute together to give you a strong nation. Without these, nation cannot be strong. I will quickly go through certain points as a guide, as a advices you can say, or as a counseling points with regards to your contribution in the development of the nation. And the foremost is your education and literacy. Then is your participation in economic contribution, in expanding the workforce, entrepreneurship. The young woman can play a very vital role in this. Then the skills development, the vocational training, and skills like coding, tailoring, and digital marketing equips girls. I'm highlighting that you have come from different areas. So if you understand this, you can pass on to those who didn't have no opportunity like you to join any college or any institution like this. Healthcare and family well-being, social and civic engagement, in that promoting peace and tolerance. The women can play a very vital role in this, and the community leadership. Young girls can become a powerful community leaders as their role models. They can inspire others as well who can take lead from them. Environmental conservation, you can play a vital role in this as well. Then digital literacy and IT skills. This is the leading thing nowadays. You can always contribute in this. So you cannot find yourself lacking behind the man. So the areas which I've mentioned, you can help in getting this country progress, create a more sustainable economy, and promote social equity. Just to conclude, I will focus on these 2 points, that is focusing on self-awareness, skill development, networking, and practical experience. You can build a strong foundation for your careers, and not only for your careers, eventually you will be contributing towards building the nation. I think all of us together can take our country out of any shambles, can take out our country from any difficulties, and can face any challenge. And we all elders are dependent upon you, because present and future is in your hands. We have paid our innings. Thank you very much.